Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very soothing lemon and honey infusion. So welcome back to the game, and previously we were doing a couple of things. Firstly, a huge clone. In fact, everything was quite large. We did a huge clone and a huge transfer. The clone being the medium risk cell block over to what will become the low risk, but we do need to make some alterations in this episode. And then also we moved, I believe it was 19 inmates from the max or high sec area over to the medium, which actually means that we've got, you know, a lot more inmates over here, so we can check that out now. In fact, we've got medium capacity is 32, and our medium security is actually 23, so a lot of good transfers there. We can see that probably more are wanting to transfer. In fact, we can review that, and we will... yeah, we'll approve that transfer. Also, just realised as well that we have more inmates wanting to move over to low risk as well. So, yeah, we can do that, but we need to do some building. But, yeah, the idea was to have the high-risk areas, well, death row over to high-risk, medium, and then to low. But, although we cloned the low one, it is going to require some changes. Now, what I'm going to do, because of money shortage, I'm going to fire all of the workers that we hired. This was a temporary hire situation, you understand, for this area. So we need to alter this as best we can. So how am I going to do that? Oh, laundry basket isn't added. Let's go with laundry basket. That's something that just doesn't clone, and even if it does, it's... yeah, it's moved around, so that's all right. That's now fine. So let's go ahead and see what we can do over here. This is going to be changing it to a medium risk area. We do still have lots of death row inmates to go through the process as well. But I'm going to go over to walls and doors and to minimum sec, and I'm going to do my best to add in all of the walls here. Now this is going to be a bit of an issue. What are you doing there? Prisoner Tim Barry, why are you there? Oh, we have 21 death row inmates, and capacity is 18. It appears when this was being built, some inmates have moved over there, because it was set to anyone can go there, so the intake has been a bit problematic. Ah. Okay then. Well, there is a solution, and that is to move them over to where they should actually be. That means freeing up some space, which means Prisoner Godwin here is going to go through, anyway, early, the process, execution process. Yeah, let's just see what we can do. Did it say 21 inmates? And we got 18, so we do need to do this a couple of times. We'll probably only do it, I think, you know what, because it's taking so long to lock people down and stuff, because of the, you know, you have to lock the prison down and escort witnesses to facility, do all of that. I'm probably going to leave it until the night. I don't mind a day of some inmates being over here. Okay, so over here, there you go. So you notice that the doors have not been changed, and that's because if I change the doors, well, I could remove the doors and then I could move the doors and replace them and then do the walls. That's fine. But what I don't want to do is remove the doors and then place the walls, because doing that will mean, well, almost, well, yeah, it'll mean putting in the walls over the door gaps. So I can do this, for example. Yeah, and where there's doors, it won't place this. So that's good. So I can do that. Actually, no, I can't do that. I can do that. And it'll be fine. It'll work fine. Oh, no. It won't work fine. Money! Right. We'll have to keep an eye on that one then. So, yeah, just doing the sort of click and drag there should work fine, unless it's going to... error it out. But we'll let the workers crack on. We'll change the walls first, then we'll change the doors, then we'll change the flooring, then we'll do all of the additions. So, lots of things to go through there. It's currently night time, so let's check. So, we have Prisoner Lutheran who's top of the list here on 2%, but I'm just going to basically click around these cell blocks, which interestingly, I've not actually found anyone yet. Oh, there we go. Who is capable of being authorized. There we go. Some of them actually might be on the very right of the facility now, because, you know, we have some inmates over there. I'm going to have to double check as well our intake to make sure that is definitely set correctly. I'll do that in a bit. I'll do it after I've done this. There we go. Let's double check. Deployment, max sec only. Just going to brush around, essentially, like that. If I hold my mouse over here, will it change? Don't know if it does. No. You can do it for rooms and such, so you can mouse over that, and it does change. Yeah, there you go. There's Armory. But I don't know if it does it for deployment. The video hasn't crashed, by the way. It's just waiting for that to do it. Nope, it's not happened. Okay, fine. Where are we at? We're on death row. Capacity is 18. Death row, we've got 17 inmates. Okay, I'm still going to go through because, like I say, money. I do want to pay off our loan as well. Something we'll do. And I do believe that we will not have any more intake for death row. If you've watched since the early days of the series, this facility is not something you can make normally within the game by either playing the default game or on with different DLCs. In order to get death row, you have to basically mod or hack in, which we did the latter. We just altered the save file to put in our inmates to make sure the intake was right, which is what we did. But that means eventually we will exhaust the amount of inmates that are available, and that's what is what has almost certainly happened. I apologise now if I accidentally go over here and start changing this to to the low risk walls. I think some things will be removed there. That shop front, I have a feeling, is going to be ripped out, but we'll see. Let's just go to intake, and oh no, we do still have 2 death row inmates. That's all right. No prisoners are due to eat over here, which is to be expected. That's fine. But yeah, it means that we will have a bit of a throughput issue. We won't have inmates coming from death row to high risk as much as we did previously. In fact, we've only got maximum 36 maximum security inmates. So what I have to do in order to fix that is, like I say, hack in more death row inmates. How are we doing for their building over there? The workers are cracking on and doing it. Yeah, it's just taking them a while. But they've probably got other things to do, like remove the sheer amount of rubble and garbage that we've generated from smashing down the walls. I'm not looking forward to changing the flooring. And I don't even know what flooring we're going to go with. Right, we got another nighttime here. Who have we got? Lutheran, Gads, and Deliveria. There's Gads. And as is standard of an evening here in this facility. So this is Swag Mac Gads, apparently. So a Mac, prison number 156-50621. Authorize. And Lutheran and Olive. Olive. This is Ivan. The Rocks. Olivera, apparently. Also, I think. And let's see what it's like after tonight. Or this morning now. There we go. There has been a couple of inmates, by the way, passed. Well, I guess it depends on your point of view. They've been assessed, and if they pass death row appeal, they go to high risk. If they fail it, it goes down. Their likelihood of clemency, once it goes under 10%, we won't be fined if it's found out later that the inmate was not guilty. But we have had some where the inmate has been found not guilty. There's Lutheran there. How are we doing over here? Actually, most of it is done. That's good. Let me go back over to the walls then. And do some running of these. Like I say, some of this, almost certainly there will be an oversight on my part. Especially the way I'm doing it. Let's do that bit and that bit. It's just as and when I see it, and yeah, there's the end of that. So it's so expensive to do. The minimum sec wall is 90. All of them are 90, whereas a standard brick wall's 50. So a lot different. What's the cheapest wall actually? Well, Rusty and Slum Wall are 20 each. Perimeter is expensive, 200. I think it's 150 for electrified. Oh no, 175. Glass is 100. Some of these others are 50. Hedges 3. I don't think you can. Can you just make an outside prison? People have asked for that at some point. We make a facility that is either mainly outside or just uses hedges and fences rather than walls. I don't even know if it's possible. I'm intrigued in finding out. What do you think about that one? Should we do that? Would that be the complete opposite of this, where we have sort of a low risk facility, probably high capacity, and just use loads of hedges and fences and be completely, well, maybe irresponsible is the word, but yeah, certainly blasé about the whole security thing. Yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. The prisoners have been told not to run out. They'll behave, I'm sure. Who knows? Who knows? All right, I can see a lot of these are being done here. There's prisoner intake. Is that our death row inmates? I reckon it is. And also, I reckon now... oh, what happened there? We went from a decent amount of money to not a lot of money. Do we get fined? I can't imagine fined, because we don't have any parole. Although if they were released and then reoffend, is that a problem? I think it's only if they're released via parole, rather than just released in general. Through serving their sentence. Prisoner reoffending fine. Yeah, we have been fined for reoffending. Pratt. Reoffended, arrested and returned to the prison. Okay. That's a bit of a shame. Okay. We're looking for Ledian and Chen. So just have a quick cursory look. There's prisoner Chen. Was that Jedi Chen? Yes. Jason Jedi Chen. May the Force be with you. Okay. Jedi number 15706143. Sentenced to multiple crimes including murder, torture, and attempted murder. Probably not following the Jedi code. Or maybe it's Anakin. Let's go ahead and check out the remaining walls to be changed up. Which won't be many, actually. Like this. And that section there. Gonna have a cursory glance up the top here. I can't see those. Okay. It seems to be alright. Let's go ahead then and go to doors to the bottom, dismantle. Interesting. Oh, I can dismantle. I was going to say I can dismantle object. It's just it's because of where the walls are. Sorry, the doors are. The doors are well, the doors are in the gap where the door should go, but you can't click on that section. Oh, the game's probably going to shout at me for removing these as well. But we'll see. Luckily, we don't have to remove a lot. And obviously I will sell these, so we will get some money back, you understand. Large jail door grey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, these are wired up. They are wired up. Whether or not they're still wired up, these doors, is anyone's guess. Okay, we'll see. I think they should be fine, but I will double check. I think they're sorted. Let me double check. Wiring, connections. Yeah, the connections are all in. Door control system. Just going to open that up so I can check. Yeah, they look fine. They look all good. Right. Doors are going on. Over to storage. And frankly, I'm just going to sell all that. Don't know why cash flow is reduced massively. Probably because of the... Yeah, there you go. Death row. Death row is now unavailable. Okay. And that means that we're not going to have the throughput that we actually need. Oh no, we've got one more death row inmate coming in. Workers are still cracking on over there. Door servos are still working. Strangely, right, we've got this area, which I put in this flooring here. That flooring, I thought, worked out for these cells. It actually works out really well over here as well. So I'm tempted not to change the flooring. Very tempted not to change the flooring, truth be told. Let's go with, then, prison labour. Let's assign everybody as best I can. Best I can over here. Yeah, not many jobs like that. And what I will do is I'll authorize all transfers. Why is this person? One prisoner's wanting to be transferred to medium sec. Wanting, but they're not able to for some reason. I don't know why. Transfers. And approve. We actually now have several inmates moving to low risk. Also, that door is missing. There we go. Okay. Well, let's do a couple of things. We're going to add in... Oh, right, okay. That's one of the things I'm probably going to find as I come along and build. There'll be bits of wall missing. Or not changed over. Let's go ahead and add in some large windows. I'm going to put the barred ones in. Just because it's easy. And it's just going to be copied from here all the way down. And this is going to do a couple of things. It's only 200 to build, so it's quite cheap. But also, if we check out grading, go all the way back here, we now should have, grading-wise, that's went to 11. Firstly, we've got a large window +1. We haven't got outdoor window, which is a shame. Yes, we could probably place them on these outer ones here, but we want them all about the same. And then after that, you've got the no minuses for no windows, so that's good. The other ones we want are radios, and I guess I could go with soft pillows as well. I don't normally go and put in pillows in the game because of the cloning issue. But we're not cloning this anymore. So I can just do this. And these can only be placed on beds, so I can just sort of click and drag and it sort of adds it in easy. Radio. Now, where I'm going to put a radio? Guess we'll place it in this corner here, right next to the shower, which is potentially an issue. Yeah, we'll put it in. See how we get on. Like so. And then we want in punch bag. Now, where's the punch bag going to go? I think... Oh, are those wrong? Guess we're just going to have to place them there. It's just going to be... It should look okay. But these will grade these up. And in order to double check after the fact, what we'll do is go to quality and check the quality of these out. Speaking of quality, room quality, phone booths, large TVs, chess table, snack machine, no CCTV. Common room grading, if it's surrounded by glass, it actually makes it better. That's surprising. Also surprising, I'm out of cash. Back over to death row. You can see now there is spaces in the death row area. Yes, there are cells vacant. That's because of the intake. I don't think we're going to change that up, though. I don't think we're going to go back and alter it, because this was pretty much the last thing to do within the facility. And there's prisoner leading. And, well, we could discuss really then, finally, what the future of the facility holds. We could certainly bring in more inmates, death row-wise, and keep running through. We could do a massive intake and have inmates come through from death row. Well, currently it's death row all the way through to low risk. We could also do it another way where they're just brought in, because we've got 40 maximum security and 19 medium and 6 minimum, but we've got capacity of, that says shared, 32. It shouldn't be shared. Minimum sec. Yeah, all those, those have changed because of the, yeah, there we go, because of the change of doors. Yeah, so we could definitely have in, put these in the corner here. Could definitely have in more inmates. Let's just see about grading then. Room quality. All of these are 14. I'm not going to bring them up to 15. I don't see much point in doing that. What could we do to do that? Comfy bed. That would work. Sofa, sink and mirror. It would potentially work, but it might be a bit of a problem. Okay. The canteen needs to be increased in grading as well as the yard. So we're talking fan and tire apparatus. Not going to happen. Okay. Well, we can put a fan in. Fan can go on the end there. Now that should grade it up. So it's 1210. Once the fan's in, it'll go to 5. There we go, it's now 5. And tyre apparatus. Improves the yard's grade. Outdoor only. I don't think there's anything we can do for that yard. Increase the size, no. Running track, no. Tyre apparatus, no. No. So the grade of that's going to stay the same. Okay, let's check out our programs. You've got kitchen safety and hygiene, which we need to run more of. Foundation education, similar thing. Alcoholics group, I'm going to stop that one. Spiritual guidance. Death row, doesn't cost anything. Animal therapy, conflict resolution. All of these... One past the conflict resolution. Reform prisoner consultation, should I say. So there's loads of ones we can probably fire up. Ideally, you want 3 of each, which is going to cost a lot of money. The reason you want 3 of each is because you've got now 3 areas where the inmates can be. Low, medium, and high. Okay. Transfers. Total prisoners motivated to qualify 5 prisoners. 26% of our medium risk inmates want to move over to low risk. And 5% are motivated from high risk. But we can review and transfer another 5 over to medium. Okay. Well, that seems to be working. Yes, there you go. There's people in the chapel. They were over there. That was all good. So they're doing that program. They're working in the laundry. Things are working. Staff-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I do still think I've overhired. 42 dogs, 26 patrolling. 26 armed guards, 16 patrolling. And 48 guards. I think that's about right. Wow. Long prison. It's a... yeah, it is a long one. Okay. Well, we are going to leave it there. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. Original inception, feels like months ago now, was Death Row. It had a very small area, 2 small areas, for the people who passed Death Row appeals, but then expanded to this area to basically account for that, and then decided clear transfer, which we have copied over. Haven't changed the flooring because, quite frankly, I think the flooring works with this coloured, this sort of bluey grey for the walls in here. Cells are graded up. Common room and canteens graded up. Prisoners are constantly, by the look of it, motivated to transfer. So basically, if we were to continue on, we would have to just get more death row inmates and progress through the whole thing. What would that mean, though? Well, it would mean a lot more time. I'm glad we've got some low-risk inmates. Whether or not, estimated reoffending chance 2%. That's really good. We've got a lot of prisoners reformed. The problem is parole. Because parole, if we check that, programs, parole. So, each inmate has to have served either 50% or 75% of their sentence. So yes, even though their reoffending rate might be really good now, estimated chance of reoffending, 18%. 2% we've seen on Prisoner Bird here. Can't find any other inmates. There'll be some somewhere, I'm sure. There we go. 2%. 2%. 16%. 2%. Reformed work. I think reform, we can probably say, has worked. It's worked in the sense that, yeah, Inmates come in, go through everything. And then get reformed. That's good. However, because they have come from death row, it means that their sentence is normally high. I think some of the lowest we've seen is in the 60s and 70 years, which means they need to have been here for so long. I mean, that is the average. There have been a couple of inmates, a few inmates that have left. Not many. Yeah. Less than 10. Generic greetings, editing guy here. I was going to leave it there for this episode and indeed for the series. However, upon reflection, I think it would be prudent and indeed quite rude not to follow up with at least one more episode here, just to make a couple of tweaks and changes and to finish things off completely. So things like on the building front, putting in maybe a little bit more grading if we can. We'll see about that one. But definitely changing up the flooring to make it conform to the, well, different sort of colour schemes. Also, we need to tweak things like the policy, so people moving up in terms of their category if they do misbehave. Also checking out things like the programs, cause some of it has been set wrong, and like I said, the other tweaks and changes, and just to see what a full episode would be like in terms of reform and prisoners going through the entire system. So we'll do at least one more and see how it goes, and as always, let me know in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.